Okay, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We want to talk a little bit about seasonality and what to expect in the market for the month of September. So we're going to break down, some of the projections for SPY, the S&P 500. We're also going to take a look at the Qs, QQQ, and take a look at some of the projections for the NASDAQ. All right. And again, just going over seasonality, this is our current year, and then this is the seasonal trend right here. This is for the SPX S&P 500, and then we have the NDX here, the NASDAQ 100, and also we can see the current year and the seasonal trend here as well. So we're going to break that down, cover that in today's video. Going to be a quick one. As always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only, and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So please be sure to read through the full disclaimer. Now, I do want to give a shameless plug to my newsletter. I've got a completely free newsletter, giving out really good investment intelligence, as well as, I'm going to be including trade ideas every single week in there. Now, not every single newsletter is going to have trade ideas, but when I do see nice setups and nice potential, I am going to highlight those to you guys. And Tesla was one of those, right? And if you were able to hop in this Tesla trade here recently that I posted about, we'll actually go into the newsletter now. And you can see that on August 22nd, and today's the 29th, so it's been about exactly a week. Tesla was one of the top trade ideas, right? And we talked about Tesla. We talked about the chart pattern that it had. This circled right here is what's known as an abandoned baby. It's actually a bullish chart pattern. And we talked about how we needed to break above this trend line and hold above 233.34. And you can see, back when we look at the Tesla chart, all right, that we did a really good job of breaking out past this trend line. We ended up falling below 233.34, but we got a very clean breakout retest of the trend line and push up higher, and very nice trade there on Tesla. So sign up for the newsletter, completely free, coming straight to your inbox every single week. I'll be sending out multiple newsletters so that way you guys can stay up to date on what's relevant in the market and also get some free trade ideas. Now, let's hop into the chart. So the first one we're going to break down here is actually going to be the NDX, the NASDAQ 100 seasonality. And again, this is our current year. So this is the summer, okay? This yellow shaded area is the summer, red is the fall, blue is going to be winter, green is spring. And what do we see here, right? What do you guys notice? Well, currently, the market's been rallying upwards, right? And when you take a look, normally throughout the seasonality period, we actually start to see a little bit of a dip in the middle of September. So the market is, doing something like this, but it's very possible that we could do something like this in the middle of September. And what do we see after that for the NASDAQ 100? Well, we see that we actually put a bottom towards the later end of September, towards the middle, towards the end. So potentially we could see something like that. Again, we're rallying, and then we get this middle of September, pullback. And seasonality says that we trend up for the rest of the year heading into January of 2022. So that's for the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 real quick and break down our SPX chart, and we see something very similar, right? What does seasonality say? Well, seasonality suggests that we pull back towards this middle part of September, and then we start to try to bottom out towards the end of September, and then we rally throughout the rest of the year. Now, one reason that this seasonality is a lot more important than last year is because we're no longer in that bear market that we were in. We have officially entered a new technical bull market since the S&P 500 rallied 20% from the lows. So, being that we're back in a bull market, the odds of in probabilities, favor some of the historical averages and some of the seasonality averages, right? When we take a look and we kind of break these down, on a projection basis, right? We'll come here and take a look at the SPY. And what do we see here for the SPY? Well, we see that it's projecting the S&P 500 to continue rallying a little bit, right? We chopped through here, which is not a big surprise. We have a lot of economic data coming out this week specifically, right? And these are going to be binary events that could drop the market. It could pump the market. It really just depends on how the data comes out. The data that came out today is obviously, pushing the market a lot. If you take a look, the S&P is up 0.75%. That's a pretty significant rally on a daily basis for the S&P 500. Now, again, right around this area here, September 15th, is when seasonality has the S&P 500 starting to top out. So again, right there towards the middle of that September, and then you see a pullback towards the end of September. And again, that's kind of what we're looking at from a seasonality standpoint, is going to be, more of a correction in the middle of September. Now, this isn't going to be 100% accurate. This is just based on some historical averages and projecting, what the S&P could potentially do in the future. So we may actually rally if you pay attention. We do have a gap up here on the S&P 500. So it'd be really interesting to see, does this gap up fill and then we start to pull back? Or do we pull back and then start to rally again and then get the pullback in the middle of September? We'll just have to see. But this is, seasonality has been a thing that I've been favoring a lot, really ever since the midterm elections. Very, very well, predicted the seasonality trends. When we take a look at the QQQ, what do we see here on the QQQ? Well, this also has a gap up to fill, right? There's a gap up right here on the Qs to fill. So it'll be very interesting. Could this week's data be the catalyst that sends us up to these gap fills on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500? And then afterwards, we would be expecting some type of a top towards the middle of September. And then we get that middle of September pullback. Or potentially, could this data, void out a lot of the seasonality, and could we get a pullback earlier than expected? In the last video, we highlighted the potential for a head and shoulders on a lot of the market, right? If you see, we still kind of have that setup, right? We have our left shoulder here, we have our head, we have our right shoulder here. The big question you have to ask yourself is, are market makers seeing the same thing? If they are, what do they like to do, right? What is their goals? Well, it's really to take everybody's money. So if everybody is seeing the same head and shoulders pattern right here, and people are going short in this area, looking to target the next potential move down, right? Then what would you do if you're a market maker and your goal and your objective is literally to take everybody's money? Well, you would set up the head and shoulders, and then you would actually take everybody's money and, push the market up higher, right? You would do something like this, where, we come down and now we're into this, right shoulder territory over here. You give it a little bit of a pullback breakout, right? And then you come back in, push up higher, and you take everyone's money. And, look at how well that aligns with seasonality, right? So, you have to keep in mind that, just because everyone sees it doesn't mean that, it's always going to play out, right? Remember, you have to wait for confirmations on patterns. Just because we have a left shoulder head and right shoulder forming here, a head and shoulder hasn't been confirmed until we break the neckline, right? And so if you wanted to draw a neckline here, you would need to draw maybe something like this, if you like doing horizontal necklines. Or, if you're a trend line person, you'd be looking for a break of this trend line here or some type of a trend line here, right? It really just depends on how, people want to, structure their head and shoulders necklines. But you can see, we're not really near those necklines here currently at the moment, are we? Right? We're still trading up in that right shoulder territory. And if we just consolidate and move sideways, or we push up higher, that's going to invalidate the overall head and shoulders theme. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update, and I'll try to keep you guys up to date on seasonality, and so we can take a look and see how these things are going to play out, in the future and throughout the rest of the year, whether it's going to be accurate, useful information, whether it's just going to be noise. We'll know, very soon. September is fast approaching. We'll see if we get that end of September dip. And if we can get that after, the end of September, if we can get a really strong October, January, and February, as, some of the seasonality charts suggest on the S&P 500 and also on the NASDAQ 100. So that's basically it for today's video. Okay. Don't forget about that free newsletter. All right. The link is in the description. There's a link in the comment section as well. You can sign up for that. And, it's a great way to support the channel and also get some really good information that I think everyone should know about, but also getting some free trade ideas in there too.